What's up, fight fans? This is Slim Olokpe with Slim Olokpe Boxing. So, on March 1st, 2025, the boxing world is going to witness one of the most anticipated events in recent memory when Gervonta Tank Davis takes on Lamont Roach Jr. in Brooklyn. Davis, a 3-division champion with a reputation for knocking out his opponent in devastating fashion, is preparing for the 31st fight of his career. But there is a twist that has left fans and pundits stunned, because in a recent press conference for the upcoming showdown, Davis made a shocking announcement that has set the boxing world on fire. The hard-hitting Baltimore native, who has earned a reputation as one of the most clinical finishers in the sport, declared that he plans to retire by the end of 2025. Yes, that is right. At just 31 years old, Gervonta Tank Davis is thinking about calling it quits. He's thinking about stepping away from the sport of boxing. But is this a publicity stunt, or does Davis have a genuine desire to step away from the sport? But before we dive into the shocking retirement news, let's take a look at the career of the man who has made a name for himself as one of the sport's most fearsome punchers. Gervonta Tank Davis has been nothing short of spectacular since making his professional debut in 2013, and with 28 knockouts in his first 30 fights. Davis has fans hoped for a blockbuster unification bout between Davis and another top fighter. It looked like Davis was left without a major name to face. Enter Lamont Roach Jr., a super featherweight champion who has long been on the radar of boxing fans. Roach definitely has skills, but he hasn't quite achieved the same level of fame as Davis' previous opponent. But nevertheless, Davis has respect for his skills, and he believed that Roach is a very dangerous opponent. So in his own words, Davis said that he's very excited to be part of this, and come March 1st, he said it will be a great event. But despite Davis' confidence, he still took a moment to show respect for his opponent. And he said even though Lamont Roach is at a smaller weight class, he said he definitely has the skills. And even though people don't really know him, he said Lamont Roach is definitely a top opponent. However, it was not long before Davis' infamous trash talk surfaced, and in a fiery exchange with Roach, Davis issued a chilling warning to Roach that he is going to beat the shit out of Lamont. Now, back to the bombshell. Davis, a fighter who has been associated with the thrill of battle and the excitement of big matchups, stunned fans when he announced his retirement plans. And speaking ahead of the Roach fight, he said after next year, he said he's out of it and he's out of this sport. So at just 31 years old, Davis is a young man in the prime of his career, and yet he's already talking about walking away from the sport. And boxing fans who have been hoping for epic showdowns between Davis and other elite fighters like Shakur Stevenson, Ryan Garcia, and even Vasily Lomachenko are now faced with the unsettling prospect of a fighter living in his prime. So why would Davis want to leave the sport so early? For me, I think what is happening here is that Gervonta Davis is trying to use the same strategy that Mayweather used during his time. Remember that after every fight, Mayweather is always retiring, and the strategy he was using then was that he doesn't want anybody to be targeting him, because he knows that if he doesn't retire, other contenders will be looking for ways to beat him, and they will be doing a thorough fight study on his recent fights. They will be watching his last fight, looking at every loopholes to beat him. But if he come out to say that he has retired, other fighters will be looking away from him, and they will not be doing enough diligence on him to know how to figure him out. But after making such statements, Mayweather will go home to start making his own fight study, and then when he is very sure that he can beat that person, then he will offer him a fight. And you know that during his career, people are looking for who is going to beat Floyd Mayweather. So people tend to watch his fights not just because they want to see him beat his opponent, but because they want to see his opponent beat him. So knowing that he is a target and everybody is waiting for him to lose, Mayweather tends to announce that he's retiring from boxing, and then he will announce again that he's coming back to boxing. So in my opinion, I think this is what Tank is trying to do, because if you look at Tank, yes, he's a great fighter, but he has not really proved himself. He has not really fight the top fighters. He has had a lot of PR, and with Floyd Mayweather's popularity behind him, of course, he has made a great name for himself. But when it comes to fighting inside the ring, Gervonta Davis still has a lot of questions to answer. But yet, he's talking about retirement. For me, I think he's just doing this because he knows that he can always announce a comeback. And when he announces a comeback and choose to fight anybody, then people will let him do it, because they will say, say, he's coming back from retirement, he's been out of the ring for a while, let's see what to do with this guy, and then he will make a load of money, and then the top fighters will start calling him out again, and then he will say he retire again. I don't know if you are getting the gimmick, because if you are going to look at it, why would Davis want to leave the sport so early? Is it the tough nature of boxing, the demands of the training, or perhaps the toll that the constant fighting takes on his body? Whatever the reason may be, the announcement has definitely created waves throughout the boxing community, and fans and pundits are left questioning what could have been and what will have happened if Davis truly walks away. So what is next for Gervonta Tank Davis? If Davis' retirement is genuine, what could the rest of his career look like? Will he stay at lightweight and unify the division? Or will he move up in weight to challenge the bigger names and test his skills against the best of the best? The truth is, there is still so much left to accomplish for Gervonta Tank Davis. But if he is serious about leaving the sport, he might just go down as one of the boxing greats who didn't fight for as long as he could have done. But another truth is that if Davis does retire, his legacy is already cemented, because as a 3-division world champion, his place in boxing history is already secure. However, many will still wonder what could have been if he stay around longer, challenging new fighters and chasing bigger paydays. Gervonta Davis is one of the most gifted boxers of his generation, but it is the uncertainty surrounding his future that makes his career even more captivating. So fans will be watching with bated breath as his 2025 deadline approaches, hoping that he continues to fight and that the biggest matchups in the sport are still ahead of him. But if he follow through with his promise and step away from the sport, boxing will definitely lose one of its brightest stars far too soon. So whatever happens, Gervonta Davis has already solidified his place as a knockout artist and one of the top fighters of the era. So the fight against Lamont Roach Jr may be the beginning of the end for Gervonta, or perhaps it will fuel the next chapter of his legendary career. But boxing fans, what do you think about this development concerning Gervonta Davis? Do you think Gervonta Davis can retire in 2025, or do you think Gervonta is just catching cruise? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.